you been working on a Mac?
Well, let's see. I had my first computer was an Amiga, and I was an Amiga devotee until they went out, and then probably like 94, 95, I bought a Mac, and I just stuck with Macs. I had the Quadra, and then I had a I can't even remember. I just kept going. You know, as soon as they would go updated. I had 3 different PowerBooks.
Did you have the one that explodes?
No, I hope not.
Which one was that? The 5300 or something like that. It had a battery that would explode.
Really?
Yeah, they had to recall them.
Wow. I didn't have that. I can't remember all the model numbers. I want to say 1300C or
1400.
1400C that had the color output to the monitor. I used to use that as my home computer for a while. In fact, I think it was before I even got the Quadra. I had the 1400C, and then I would just hook up to a monitor, and just wires everywhere. You know, like it had a SCSI port, and but I loved it. And I remember I used to use virtual memory on it because I didn't have any RAM, and I was making, like, I was doing our ads at the time for Birdhouse, so I was doing all of our layouts and stuff on this PowerBook, and it was so slow.
Yeah, those are only, I think they max out at like 64 megabytes of RAM or something.
Yeah, so I had virtual memory on for probably another 64 or so, and then I would be doing stuff in Photoshop, and I would perform a function. I remember we were actually we were tearing down my ramps at the time, and so I would start a function performing, and I'd go out and keep working, and then come in and check on it, and keep working, you know, for an hour or whatever it was, and then go in and as it was finished, start another one.
So what kinds of things were you doing on your Mac in the earlier days when you?
Well, when we first started Birdhouse, I was in charge of all of, like, the marketing and promotions. So.
What year was that?
Well, we started in '92. So I think I must have got my first Mac around '94. And I would just do all the layouts. I would do all the, like, the ads. I would do the graphic color separations. All of our video stuff. Although I didn't, you know, there was no video that I could afford at that time, so I was just doing stuff from 2 VHS texts. Really, in '92 is when the whole nonlinear aspect came into play. So when we started, the first video I made in '92, I had to borrow my friend's Beta decks to edit, and I didn't even, you know, I'd never really done it before, and it was really slow and hard, and then the next thing I know, the Video Toaster came out, which I did some promotions for NewTek, and they actually gave me one, so I started learning this nonlinear, although that was real kind of a crude version of it. But it worked, you know. You take the clips and you arrange them any way you want. You can watch them back, and then people started doing that. They started doing it like in Premiere, but it wasn't through FireWire. You know, it was just through this compressed QuickTime version, and you could just see the quality wasn't there at all. And then once the whole FireWire thing came in, it was like, oh, finally, you know, we can do this at home, and economically, and you know, you don't need all this bulky equipment. You don't need these giant controllers and A/B roll, you know, 3 decks to be doing this stuff. It's all there on the screen, and it's all super fast, and the effects are there, and it was kind of like what I was looking for the whole time, but I never knew it.
Yeah. And then what do you think about Final Cut Pro versus Premiere?
I really like Final Cut Pro better because I started learning Media 100, and it was closer to Media 100. So I just started tinkering with it when I got it, and I did stuff quickly. I could figure it out intuitively instead of, you know, pouring through the instruction manual. So that's really how I came to love it, because I just said, oh, I can do this without even looking it up.
So it seems like like the video, I mean, the video of your son, for instance, it's very clear, and you know the movement is very smooth. And it seems like a lot of amateurs might have problems like shooting action videos. Like I know if I shot, it would be very shaky. And like what kinds of advice or tips do you have in terms of shooting sports or action-oriented things?
Well,
amateurs?
I mean, I've really just learned the ropes of shooting skateboarding through having a team doing videos and realizing what you want to see, you know, because when you're shooting skateboarding, like, you always want to have a point of reference for height. So if you see someone in the air, you don't want to just see them in the air. I mean, that goes for any sport, I really think. I see it a lot too. Like, I saw some coverage of some motorcycle jump competition recently, and as soon as the guy would take off in the air, they would zoom in on him. And so it's like, okay, well, he could be 2 feet off the ground. You know, he may be in the air, but you always want to have a point of reference so the ground is in the frame at some point. And the same goes for, like, if you're shooting some big jump or a big, like if you're shooting a skateboarder on a handrail, you want to see how big the handrail is. You want to just be close up on the guy the whole time and have him sliding and then come off. You want to have a point of reference for really how big the stunt is. See, if you're dealing with like this shot right here, this is me, but it's all close up because the move is sort of technical. There's a whole thing where I'm grabbing the nose, I'm taking my foot off, and I'm coming back around, and it's not part of a whole routine. It was just something I wanted to do one time, so that's why it's only focused on me. Let's see what else can show you here. And then this would be more of a case of going high right here, where you always want to try to keep the coping in frame. See how you still get a reference point for how high it is.
Yeah.
Because if it was just like this, if you're just following the skater up, then you never really know how high it is. And the same goes for his picture. This is the best skate photographer right here, Grant Britton. And so his picture has the bottom in it. So that's just, you know, the point of reference. Here's a case where the wide angle really exaggerates how big this is. I mean, that was pretty big to begin with, but
When you say wide angle, is that a certain kind of lens or?
fisheye. You know, a fisheye lens for sure. So when you're looking at this, like, there's a point where you don't even see both sides, well, barely see both sides of where it was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my G4 is in under here because it's a mess of wires. And we got the CDR and the FireWire drive. And this is a digital video deck. This is a cool Philips TV I picked up. I just like the way it looked. And the studio monitor. Or what is it? Cinema display?
Cinema display,
Yeah,
I think,
cinema display. And then just like various trophies, B3s and stuff. This is my Sony digital frame. That was a gift that I love. This is Jack, the Pumpkin King. This is like X Games stuff. This is my family at one of the X Games. This is my dad's helmet from World War II. He was a fighter pilot. And so he gave it to me. I was stoked. This is just a board that I actually gave to my wife, but it's kind of my classic design.
Does she skateboard?
She doesn't, obviously. But she likes to keep it on display. All my like history boards are out right now on another display. And then this is the key to Ocean City, Maryland, which really doesn't bring us much of anything when we went there, but they gave us the key anyway.
What's the key to a city do?
Yeah, I always thought a key to the city meant you get free food. And
You show your key.
yeah, like, you know, you get it anywhere, hotels and whatever, and we didn't bring us anything except rain and freezing weather.
So, I guess our burning question, the Mac user's burning question is, where's Tony Hawk Pro Skater for the Mac?
Where is it? That's an issue with actually with Activision, Neversoft, but I've been pushing for it.
So you don't have, how much say do you have in that?
Well, I can only go so far, but it's more just about research and numbers and how they feel like it would perform. And
It's funny because we wrote a Mac advocacy story a few months ago, and we said that was one of the things we wanted
Oh,
on
really?
the PC side
Oh,
that
wow.
we wanted on the Mac side.
Wow. Well, I'm actually gonna meet with them Monday, so I will.
Pass that on.
Yeah, I'll pass it on, and I'll try to keep hounding them.
Just keep pushing for our platform.
I've been playing it on my PowerBook on Virtual Game Station.
Oh, you have?
Yeah,
How does that work?
it works well.
Yeah?
Yeah. What I really want is to get a Dex drive for a Mac.
What is that?
Dex drive is a it's a drive that you can stick your memory card in from PlayStation
Oh, okay.
and download like levels and characters and stuff like that for any game.
Oh, okay.
But it's for PC only.
Oh.
So I keep hearing about all these people are creating these skate parks with Pro Skater 2, and they've got them up on the internet, and I can't get them because I don't have a Dex drive.
Yeah.
But I refuse to buy a PC.
Yeah.